Welcome to Reclaiming Our Roots. My name is Tanya, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to plant an indeterminate potato. If you missed yesterday's video, I'll link it in the description box on how I planted a determinate potato, and I also provide an article on what's the difference between an indeterminate and determinate potato. So today's potato is a russet potato. I have a 5-gallon bucket here with 4 inches of potting mix. And in yesterday's video, I showed you how I amend my soil. I amend my soil with worm castings, and also I use all organic fertilizer to feed the soil, to provide the trace minerals that the soil needs. So I'm going to give it a good mix, get it all stirred up here. Make sure I mix it thoroughly before I place the potato in. You never want to place any of your food on top of fertilizer, okay? So you always want to make sure you do a good job at thoroughly mixing it in. So that's been thoroughly mixed. Now I'm going to insert my indeterminate russet potato. You'll notice, and I failed to mention this yesterday in yesterday's video, these are what you call eyes, right? Many of you have seen these when we've had potatoes that have matured and we think that they're going bad. What they're doing is they're actually producing eyes that if you insert it in a pot like I'm going to do today and grow it, you can produce and grow additional potatoes. You can purchase what they call seed potatoes at your local food store, or you can buy them online. And essentially what they are, they're potatoes that have matured over, say, a year or so or less, and they have produced the eyes. In this case, this is an organic potato that I purchased from my local mom's organic store. I've allowed it to mature to produce the eyes. And again, this is another experiment that I'm trying to see how many potatoes I can yield using store-bought potatoes that we've allowed to mature. So when you're growing an indeterminate potato, there's a different method that you have to utilize. So you place the potato in the ground. It's always recommended you place it in the ground with the eyes facing up. So you place it in the ground like so, and I'm going to cover it. Now, in order for this potato is what you call a long growing or a long season growing potato. And by that it means that this potato will harvest fruit anywhere from 120 days to 130 days. The Norland Red that I planted yesterday, it is a short season growing potato, which means that it will harvest fruit anywhere from 75 to 90 days. And you plant those like so, but when they produce potatoes, it will be produced on one level. As for indeterminate potato, you have to do what you call a build-up method, and that's done over a period of time. Like today, as I plant the potato, I cover it with soil. As this plant begins to grow, once it reaches 5 to 6 inches, I will come back and I will add more soil. As I add soil, I will cover about good 4 inches of that stem. That stem will then create and produce what we call tubers, which is a potato. So this potato is grown in layers. So as the potato grows, you bury all but 2 inches of the plant until you reach the top of the plant. At the top of your container. Then after that, the plant will continue to grow, produce potato leaves, and as the plant matures and the potato leaves die, that's the indicator that the potatoes are ready to be harvested. Unlike when planting a determinate potato, you basically plant it and forget it and just do your maintenance on it, giving it fertilizer and water for 75 to 90 days, and you'll have potatoes. So now that we have our potato covered, I think I'm going to add a little bit more soil. Again, as you all saw, if you haven't seen, go back and look at the video from yesterday when I planted the determinate potato. I amend my soil with worm castings produced from worms. And I also use all organic fertilizer, which does not have any blood in it. I don't use any fertilizers from animals. This is all from food scraps, leaves, bark, all organic matter. I'm a natural girl, so I like to do all things as natural as possible. So I do not use blood meal fertilizers, although there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose to do. We just don't use it in our garden. And I'm going to add some worm casting. Just sprinkle a little bit, not much. About 2 tablespoons. Give it a good mix. And press that down a little bit more. Now it's ready for I'm going to give it a bit hydrating. Give it a good drink. And you're done. I'll come back. There will be progression videos that I'll do over the growing process. When it starts to peak a stem, I'll come back in probably about 3 weeks to see where we are in terms of growth. And once the stem reaches 5 to 6 inches, I'll cover all but 2 inches with potting mix, and I'll also toss in some more amendments that I use until it reaches maturity. But I recommend that you use one russet potato per 5-gallon bucket. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next video, happy growing. Peace and bliss.